Boro fans, hello and welcome back, not just to the Stevenage Football Club podcast tonight, to the happiest podcast in all of the EFL. I'm gonna sing us in for tonight's episode. We are top of the league, so we are top of the league. We are top of the league, so we are top of the league. What a team, guys. Hello and welcome back to episode number 26. And again, we are calling this episode Top because unbelievably, we went to Peterborough and won 1-0 to put us top of League One. 30 points, 9 wins. What an unbelievable season it has been. What a team. And last night just typified how great this squad is and all the things that we're achieving as a team this season. Now, currently, And is unavailable for the pod. Now, for everyone listening and watching, And might be hopping in the pod. I've sent him all the details. Hopefully, we will see And at some point on the episode. I'd love to hear And's positivity for tonight, as we were just saying off the pod. It'd still be great with And. He'd be positive, but he'd always throw a little clanger in there, wouldn't he? And but back on the pod tonight, we had to get him back on again now that he's signed to the Stevenage Football Club podcast. What a start, by the way. Imagine joining the pod and the team go top. I mean, my God. Luca, mate, how are you, man? I bet you're absolutely buzzing too, right?
Absolutely buzzing. Top of the league, we're going up. Everything.
Could you actually imagine that? Imagine getting voted. Like you made a great point. Like, we're a third in now. So
We
it's
are.
like, does that dream now actually start to come into a reality? Are we in the promotion race now that we're top after 15?
It is crazy to think about, I think. Third of the season, 15 games, and you think of all the games we could have won and that we have won. And that put 30 points, as you said. Unbelievable.
I'm at the point now where, honestly, mate, happiest I've been in my life. No, I'm just waiting. I don't think I've ever been this happy about a team. They're just my favourite team. Like, I just love them the bits to be top, and what a group. But you know, are we in the promotion? Right? I don't know how this works. I mean,
I think we've still got to take it a game at a time because you've seen, especially how unpredictable this league is, and the fact that especially on Saturday, how low we were with that 0-0 in Doncaster, then we completely switched and now we're top of the league. You can't predict it.
it's unbelievable. Do you know what? It was a great moment last night because, you know, we're winning the game 1-0, and obviously we'll talk about it in a bit. It was just one of those nights you'll never forget. And, you know, when the fourth official whacks up 7, you just think, oh my God, you're just standing there or watching it and just think, you kick it. Just get out the pitch, do you know what I mean? And then you got Chem Campbell doing what he was doing, and the Bez coming
Oh,
on
I
and
love that
trot
move.
up.
I love that.
Mate, by the way, the Bez made me laugh so much. His warm up, he was out warming up, Luca, for like 40 minutes, and we were like, "What is going on here?" Is Bez and he come on and did a little cameo, and
Little cameo of holding it in the corner.
yeah, failed at that though, didn't he? Give the ball away. I thought, the Bez get back. Yeah, it was just, and it was the moment when the ref blew the whistle, and it was like, we're top. You know, we are top of League One after 15, 30 points, 9 wins. It was just that drive back last night, just behind the wheel like that the whole way. It was just unbelievable. And it just makes you think, are we going to stay there? I mean, in your opinion, right? Do you think we're going to stay up in that top 6? Because for 30 points with 31 games left to go? I mean,
I think it obviously comes to where we are after the Christmas period and the turn of the new year. Definitely, I think, of course, late November, I think we're in a fantastic position. But obviously, as you said earlier, we've got games like Cardiff coming up. It's going to be a huge test as
what's
well.
it, mate?
And how we fare in those sort of games, that's going to show how we're going to be, especially after the new year. And I think we've got Plymouth on New Year's Day. And that's obviously, I know they're poor at the moment, but that's still not going to be easy. And it's how we fare in those games, I think. But if we come out of the other side the way we are in that top 6, even in the top 8, maybe, I think that you'll be absolutely shot to bits with it, really.
Is unbelievable, isn't it? And do you know what? I do agree. I think December's like the penultimate. I think after December, we're going to know whether we are actually in the promotion race
Yeah,
as
because it's the
you know.
time that players can get injuries. There's fixture congestion, isn't there? And you want to get through all those factors and then come out the other side as similar to what we are now, hopefully.
Yeah, and I tend to find, we have got some unbelievable matches. I mean, obviously we've got Wigan this week, which is a bit of a cracker. Wigan are a very good side at home, but Cardiff. I mean, when the fixtures come out, I remember being on holiday when the fixtures come out. If someone would have said to me that match could be a first v second, and we were first. I mean, like, even me, Luca, I would have been like, really? What, we first played at what? Like, it just would have been absurd.
I just think it's such a credit to this side, especially that we're just in that conversation. And but for me, when you look at it, the way the league is and the teams that are in it, it doesn't feel unexpected because of the years that we've been building up with this squad that Evans and Revs have kind of been moulding in League One. I feel like it's not unexpected, and we've kind of been building and deserving this in a way.
And do you know what? You make a great point. I think obviously our journey the last 5 years has been just absurd, right? Like what we went through, and then obviously Evans coming in, keeping us up promotion, and Revs, and this season with Revs, which has just been unbelievable. It feels like that in this division, and I'm going to be honest with you, and I know that people are a bit fearful of getting promoted because they've got this opinion on, if we do go up, is that inevitable relegation going to absolutely sink us? And obviously that could potentially happen, but it also couldn't. And I'm in the mindset of, in my honest opinion, I don't know what you think. If we are going to get promoted, I kind of think this season is probably the best league or opportunity to do it, given what League One's normally like, if you get my point.
Definitely, it's that unpredictability, isn't it? And I feel like especially with how we've been, you want it to be this season with the squad that's we've got in every department. We seem to have depth, don't we? We seem to have loads of quality, and going up to the Championship is obviously incredibly hard to sustain, isn't it? As a League One side, and we're a smaller side. Um, yeah, definitely. I feel like, but at the start of the season as well, you look at it and we go top 10 finish. That's what we want. Top 10 finish. At the end of the day, if we still got that, we'd still be chuffed because we look at that, say I don't know, finished eighth, ninth, something like that. That is still building on hugely from last season. And that's another stepping stone for next season, for the season after, something like that.
I think that's a great point, and do you know what? I completely agree with you. Look, the goal's still top half, and I think this is what's amazing, right? Because the goals top half, we've created a top half League One team to finish there, to kind of establish that for the next few years after this season, finishing in the top half. But it's great what we're doing because it's almost like we've got the freedom to do what we're doing, and nobody expects us to be doing what we're doing. And I love that element. We have this goal, and we're overachieving with it at the minute, and it's great. And it's almost like, if the team aren't there at the end of the season, you can look back and go, what an effing season. I mean, whoa, to be top. I mean, how many occasions have we been top now? 9?
Yeah.
8? I've lost count. I've honestly lost count. I think it was 8 after Luton, so it's got to be 9, I think.
But what was so impressive, I thought, about last night is that you think that, especially how crucial of a game we thought that it was last night.
Yeah.
Pressure that was probably on the minds of the players, especially with the poor form that's been. Like, can you maintain it? Can you maintain that spot in the top 6? Can you keep that? Because there's a lot of pressure, especially when a team, as us, a lot of games in hand from the international break, don't we? And it's so important to take advantage of those games, especially when you're not a huge team in the division like we are.
Yeah.
So that is probably playing on the minds of the players at that time. So that's what I thought was so impressive about the way they went out there, put in such a solid performance. And there wasn't really any weakness in any department, I thought, last night. It was brilliant all round.
Do you know what? I think last night showed what this squad is all about, right? And I was thinking this at work today. I was thinking that, you know, again, the goal this season was to make that step and become a top half League One team. And Revs created a top half League One team. We're achieving that at the minute. We're in, obviously in the top half League One, top of it, exactly. And we've used this analogy this season, and I steal it off Anne, and I apologise to Anne. I feel like Anne should trademark it because it was just such a brilliant kind of statement that he made about our squad, that you could play two separate squads and still expect to win games. And to be up there in this league, you have to have that depth, because there's going to be matches like last night where you're going to have to play your other players. And I think it really showed that statement of you could play two separate squads and still win. Because you look at last night, Sweens hasn't played a lot of league minutes this season, comes in brilliant. Freestone, although he was great when he... Freestone, although Freestone's played a lot the last couple of months, came in after not playing on the weekend. He played. Dan Phillips hasn't played a lot for us this season. Played. Gas started, played really well. It was different. There was different players in there, and they just all played to the top level, won the game, and it really, really impressed me. You had Bez coming off the bench. You had Louis Thompson coming. Do you know what I mean? It was a team of players that haven't played a lot.
I think it's such a great quality that Revs has got as a manager, especially because he's got the ability to call upon players and they just perform. They just deliver off the bat. You look at Dan Phillips, especially. Dan Phillips has been away on international duty and he's under pressure in that environment, and he comes back, first 90. He was incredible, wasn't he? I mean, it was probably, I'd sum it up as just a Dan Phillips performance. That's what he did. He was put in there to be Dan Phillips, and he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, I agree. I echo that. I thought Dan Phillips was amazing. It was just great to see it. These players last night play to the level and still win. And it's just what a squad. Come on, let's get straight into it. It was a great night. To go back top of this league, and we were just saying it off the pod, but we, top in not even November, the end of it. I mean, we play Wigan Saturday, and Wigan are looking at us going, "Oh my God, we're playing top of the league." It's absurd that we're going into December pretty much top of that. I'm so happy, honestly, so happy. Let's go straight in then. Obviously, the 15th League One game of the season last night, Peterborough. What a massive game it was. We spoke about this on the pod Monday as the game. We wanted to see a result. We wanted to see Revs change things. We spoke about that heavily on the pod on Monday. And change things, he did. Get in there, Revs. You are the man, Alex Ravel. He got it. He didn't just get it right. He got it so blooming bang on.
He nailed it.
Whoa. But do you know what I loved? All the top managers in this league do that. They evolve, they adapt, and they change it as the season goes on, and they find a new way to win games. What a bloke Revs is. The lineup was different. The setup was different. We'd heard rumours that Alex Ravel was going with 3-5-2. We were salivating at that outside the ground. Not just me, few others as well. 3-5-2, really? As Dean Thompson whispered it to us, waiting for the players to get off the coach. But we didn't know how much of it to believe. And then we did see the old graphic with Charlie Good out. Bosh, 3-5-2. Unbelievable. How many times have we said that over the last few months? 3-5-2 with this squad. The lineup that Alex Ravel went with in the 3-5-2 shape. We had Philip Marshall, obviously, in between the sticks. Luther Wilding as the right fullback and wing back on the right side. The three centre halves, Charlie Good, Dan Sweeney, and Lewis Freestone. What a three that is. With Dan Butler playing as the left wing back in that 3 or 5. The middle two was Dan Phillips and Harvey White for this match. Dan Kemp played in the 10 and then leading the line. Big goal, Reedy was back. Oh, what a bloke. And partnering Reedy, the Gas, who many, including and thought his days were numbered, but that was to be wrong. Fortunately, Anne's not here to defend himself at that point tonight, but never mind. That was the starting 11. The substitutions: Tasby Hammond, Chem Campbell, Bez Labala, Phoenix Patterson, Joe Van Malcolm, Jasper Patterson, and Louis Thompson. 1-0 win. Big goal Reedy in the 21st minute with a penalty. The statistics for the 1-0 win last night: we had 33% possession to Peterborough 67. We had 7 shots to their 12. We had 3 on target to their 2. We had 11 touches in the opposition box. Peterborough had 13. Both goalkeepers made 2 saves each. We had 28 aerial duels won. We had 16 fouls committed to Peterborough's 9. But oh dear, I thought the Peterborough fans weren't happy with the ref. There you go, nearly doubled in fouls committed. There were 7 corners overall. Some distribution stats for everyone. We made 269 passes to Peterborough's 522. 64% pass accuracy to their 83. We had 52 backward passes to Peterborough's 71. We had 121 forward passes to Peterborough's 171. We had 71 long balls to Peterborough's 44, 59 successful final third passes to their 62. We had 12 total crosses in the match to their 24. 5 yellow cards, dished out in total. We had 2, they had 3. Total clearances, we made 34 to Peterborough's 15. I think the first place to start, Luca, is the lineup. Again, we called it, didn't we? We said, has to change it, go with something different. We have to evolve. We have to adapt. A lot of us have said, 3-5-2 with the squad and players we've got. That's surely a formation that Revs is going to adopt as we get into the crux of the season. And he did just that, 3-5-2 with that team, a massive talking point. And didn't it show?
I thought I was really impressed, with the confidence from Revs to go with the 3-5-2 from the start. Because you've seen how the 3-5-2 has worked, especially maybe in the last, half an hour of games. I think Port Vale, especially when he switched it and brought Sweeney on, and that completely dictated it. We won possession. We were dominating that second half, and that's how Reedy got those 2 late goals. And you see it's just instant impact through that formation. And I think it definitely worked in the first half, which I thought was one of the best first halves we've had in ages.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's brilliant when you're defending a goal, especially like we were last night, and you're sitting deep, marking man for man. And I thought we did fantastic in that second half, where we were just so solid defensively. I thought it was a really good contrast, because the first half we were brilliant in possession, working the ball forward really well. And then second half, where it was just completely switched. Obviously, we gave them the ball a bit more, but because they're in form, they're at home and that. But I feel like the way we sat in deep, marked well, I thought it was brilliant.
I completely agree. I think the one thing for me about the 3-5-2 is 2 reasons, really. I think defensively in that formation, you're so hard to break down. And, we're a fantastic defence anyway. I mean, going into this match, we'd only conceded 11 in 14. So even with 4 back there and 2 sitting in front with, Jordan or Harv, as it's been for the most of this season, still the best defensive division. But in 3-5-2, you're even harder to break down. You keep your shape, you let the other team have the ball, and you're hard to break down in that formation. But what I liked about it was from an attacking sense. We were able to play Kempy in the 10. I love the way that we played a partnership up top. I love partnerships. I think they're so important in this division in terms of chance creation and goals scored. Jamie Reid doesn't have to do all the running then. He's able to, focus on getting in behind. And then the Gas equally. The Gas doesn't have to focus on the amount of running, because Gas isn't a runner. Gas is going to hold the ball up. He's going to, when Gas played on his own at Lincoln and Reading, so isolated, because, Gas isn't a hard-working striker. That's not him. And it was great to see them 2 playing a partnership. And the Gas, in a partnership, completely different player, right? He held up the ball. He won his battles, got in behind as well on the odd occasion. I remember in the first half, Dan Butler was putting in some lovely balls down, and Gas was getting in behind. But we were allowing Luther to get forward and Dan Butler to get forward, and we just had more attacking output up there. It just felt we had width in that formation. And I thought the formation was the recipe to our success yesterday. And as you said, Luca, I thought first half was brilliant. Dominated, started well, got the goal. And can I just say a massive moment for Jamie Reid. Hasn't scored since Port Vale away in August and gets his goal. Finally, he's off the mark. Watch him go and score in a run of games now. Really, really important for Reedy to score. We go 1-0 up in the game. And I felt at 1-0 we'd win the game with 3-5-2. I just felt we'd win it. And the second half, professional, just did their jobs. That's all they
I loved it though, because especially it's like the way we created the penalty, really, because of how good the ball in was from Harvey White, how enticing it was in the back post. It was always going to get someone on the end of it. And then you look at Charlie Good, how he rose to the ball, putting pressure on the man, forcing that handball, wasn't he? And then what I loved about Reedy's penalty was it wasn't like penalties you've maybe seen from him of recent years where, they've been a bit, not calm, composed and confident. That's what I thought he was with that penalty. Yeah. There was no faff whatsoever, straight down the middle, really. And, that's probably what he needs, I think. Something no faff whatsoever. And love it.
Do you know what? I was nervous when he was lining up for it. I was like, oh my God, don't miss. Just score.
Yeah, especially when the commentator said he hadn't scored since August.
Oh, no. Do you know what it was? When he was lining up for it, their keeper looked very small, and I thought, I'm confident he's going to score this. I was nervous, but I was confident.
The thing is with Reedy, it's one side or the other. You think that he's going to blaze it over, or he's having one of those games, or you think he's going to absolutely bury it because he's having one of those games. And I think that's what he was last night, definitely.
Yeah,
to see more of him.
I agree. I knew he'd score, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking, just don't miss it, because if you miss it, you're going to sink. You haven't scored. Do you know what I mean? It would have just ruined his confidence, and it was so important, not just for us as a team, just for him as a player. Got that goal. He scored. He's underway again. It feels like. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I just thought. Do you know what it was about last night? It was a typical, solid away win. Those away games where you go away from home and you get 1-0 in the game and you just work hard. You do the running, you get in your shape.
It was a Stevenage power performance.
It was when it was that type, and I love those performances. And really, for a lot of away matches that you're playing, that's how you have to be in certain games.
Yeah, I love it because it's the bit where you find that bit of quality early on. You dominate, you put the move together, you get that quality, and then you're just solid, hard to break down, and you're frustrated. That's what I love about it sometimes. We've always had that about us, where we frustrate the opposition and make it so difficult for them. They can't even string a pass together. I mean, people weren't even doing that in the first half.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, did they really have a chance? I mean, there was a couple of shots, wasn't there? But it's like...
I think we're really good at that. When we always come against informed teams, I always find we always nullify them pretty well, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We do. And do you know what I really loved about last night as well? Saying what I loved about the 3-5-2 is your three centre-backs, they're able to have confidence stepping in. Like there was many a times last night where Peterborough were playing a ball in, and how many times you see Dan Sweeney step in and nick the ball, or Lewis Freestone. You got that confidence as a three because you know that you've got Good, you've got Lewis Freestone either. So it was really nice to see whenever Peterborough got the ball, Swains was stepping into the gap, nicking the ball back, getting the ball back, getting us away again. And that's what I love about that formation. It allows your players back there to be confident and step into the gaps, follow your man. You've got cover with the three. As
and
a
I,
two, times
I also think to summarise the first half and how we just restricted them. I saw a tweet from the official Peterborough United account. 30th minute, they said, "It has been a difficult opening half an hour of this contest. The visitors have the lead and have restricted Posh to no real attacking intent." I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. And that's how we wanted it to be.
Because it sums it up. It sums up how we wanted to go about our business, and we did that.
And
It's
we did that.
fantastic.
We got the goal. We went in and led at 1-0 half time. And I was really confident at half time. Again, for me, knowing the formation that we played as soon as we went 1-0 up, I knew we'd won the game. Because in that formation, when you've already got a dominant back line that rarely concedes, really, other than, the losses that we've had pretty much. When you're playing 3-5-2 with the players we've got, I was so confident we were going to win that game. But another thing here, again, Alex Ravel, we didn't just get it bang on last night with the formation. He didn't just get it bang on with the starting 11. The subs, just honestly, Revs is an absolute genius. I mean,
when you look at the subs and you see how we're playing that game, I thought it was like 60th, 70th minute, and you see Louis Thompson coming on, you go, oh, just stop it.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
All he does, he goes in, gets the ball, just runs, doesn't he?
Yeah. Imagine having that squad depth where you go, right, Bez and Louis, right, you're on. Do you know what I mean? Imagine having that.
Then you got Phoenix Patterson sitting on the bench as well.
Not even playing.
No.
It's mental, isn't it? But do you know what it was? I was having a chat with a few of the guys next to me, and they were going, it was about the 55th minute, 60th minute. And they were going, I think he needs to make a sub soon. And I was thinking, no, it's fine at the minute. It's fine. You wouldn't want to change this now. We're restricting them. We're really comfortable. We're working hard, but we're keeping our shape. They don't really know how to break us down. You can clearly see they were struggling how to break us down. They were moving the ball one way, then the other way, and then they were thinking, oh no, we've got to go back the other. They didn't really know how to break us down. And I felt that if we could get to that, 70th minute mark around there, then he can make those changes. And he literally made them at the perfect time. And he took off the right players as well. He brought Harv off and brought Louis. You keep that, solidity with Phillips and Louis. It was so clever. And also rest Harvey for Saturday. And then he took, was it Reedy, I think, went off, didn't he? Jamie Reid went off, brilliant, just been injured, got his goal, want to keep his confidence, bring him up, bring the Bez on who's going to give you pace in behind as well. You've got that. It was just, he got it perfect.
It was so clever, I thought, the substitution, because it was also the type of player he brought on as well. You think Louis, you think Deli Labala, you think Chem Campbell, pace, power, they're going to give you all of that. And from the 70th minute onwards, we needed that. And that's probably what got us over the line. I mean, I thought they were fantastic.
Do you know what? I've got it up in front of me. So Louis Thompson come on for Harv on the 74th minute. Bez come on for Gassan, not Reedy. Reedy went off for Chem on the 85th. And Dan Kemp went off. That was it for Jasper Pattenden. But look at the players he's brought on. Pattenden for Kemp, really clever, because you've got another defensive-minded player there. You've got Louis Thompson, who, as we know, is mustard. You've got Bez coming on for a bit of pace. And then you've got Chem Campbell coming on as well, who didn't have a great game Saturday. Really, really intelligent, good management, putting him on the bench. But Chem has got that ability to keep you the ball. And he did that. He came on. Do you remember that little run he did where he kind of beat like 4 men? Wasn't it, or something, and got fouled, and we all knew that was it when he got the free kick. So for me, it was the subs. He got the subs so bang on. Revs' management yesterday was, I mean, I don't know what you think. My opinion, I think that was his best management match, possibly.
Definitely, because I know a lot of fans have been saying to me that they've been moaning about Revs' inclination to change formation in his setup, because you see this season he's kept the 11 the same pretty much, hasn't he? And in terms of formation, he's wanted to keep the same players with each other, playing week in, week out. And that has worked. Don't get me wrong, that has worked. But when it hasn't, people have been moaning about it. And the fact that he can go in such a big game like he was on Tuesday, crucial as that was for our season as well, and he can go in and be as confident as he was with those changes and the formation change and the players he put in as well, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And for him to have the confidence in them to step up, I think it was of credit to him, really.
For me, I know that Revs is a top manager anyway. I kind of think, you don't create this top half League One team as he's done to not be a top manager. But and I know he's a top manager, but last night really showed me he's of that level. Which is crazy, right? Because Revs is his second season consecutively. Obviously, we know Revs has been manager in the past, but he's into his. I call it proper management now, and he's so early on into his career, especially with us, and he's having this kind of managerial nous to make decisions like he did yesterday. I mean, only top managers do those things. Make the changes, play that certain 11, make those subs. Evans did that. That's what Evans did.
What I really admire about him as a manager, actually, because he's admitted it a lot, I think, in interviews, is his first spell, the way he looks at that, and it wasn't as successful as he wanted at all, really, but he's learnt from that. And that's what a lot of managers don't necessarily do. And he's learnt from managers such as Steve Evans. He hasn't copied his style; he's just taken parts from it, hasn't he? And he's moulded his own style.
He has, and that's what I like about it. But he's making really top level managerial decisions this early on in his career with us, and that's really impressive. I mean, a lot of these younger managers, they take. Some of them can take up to 4 or 5 years with their kind of, and it takes a chairman's dedication to stick with them for the longevity, as Phil Wallace has probably done with Revs. But he's doing this early, and you're kind of looking at it going, Jesus Christ! I mean, if Revs is going to get better season on season, and our squad is, I believe, to a degree, and if we're doing this at the minute, top in League One, with Revs being this good as a manager now, you kind of think our next 2 years just looks scary. In fact, doesn't it? I mean, it just looks unbelievable. Obviously, we don't know what the future holds, but if you're doing this season, this early on, winning 9 matches out of 15, Luca, 9.
Honestly, my opinion, I've said it to you before, but if I look at it for the next few years, especially, I'd love to see, a slight climb, because we're obviously bound to have games like we've had this season where we do drop off. Of course, we showed the form of that late. Obviously, we want to go up. Obviously, you want to just get to the top, win the league, and get to the championship. You want to do that. But I think, especially, even if we get, a top 6 finish, a top 8 finish, a top 10 finish, how much of an improvement that is from last season and the season before. It allows us to just keep building that squad slowly. We keep going under the radar, and year by year, we're in that top bracket more and more. And that's what we want to be at the end of the day.
And this is what he's doing. He's created a top half League One team. He's made that step, and you really feel for the next few years that we can improve this squad season on season and keep evolving to stay in that top half. I think it's a great shout. If we get promoted, then those settings are going to change, aren't they? We'll have to by the way, it's just mental that we're speaking about that, by the way. Unbelievable. Really quickly, players from the match. We're going to go through. I'm going to shout out a little bit like we did on the pod on Monday. A quick observation of these players. Luca, I'm going to start with you. Well, I know Philip Marshall. We kind of involve in the back.
Time waste, wasn't he?
Oh, mate, elite, by the way, sitting on the... Do you know what I love about that? Do you know what I love about that? Is when he was doing it, obviously he knew what he was doing. It was brilliant. Again, but that's what the top level players do. They navigate through game. They do certain things just to...
Stop their momentum, didn't it? They were looking like they were going to score in that period.
Yeah. It was so funny, right? He went down and he was going, he was looking at Scott Cuthbert, and Scott, they knew what they were doing. I'm not having this from Scott Cuthbert, by the way, checking if he's all right on the touchline. We know full well what's going on, right?
And if it's Scott Cuthbert, it's not legit.
Yeah. And Phil, right, he was on the floor, and Phil was doing this. He was laying there. He was like, chill back. And he was going like that. It was like, Phil, mate. And then went over there for like 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden, you just see, like that, and he gets up, gets the ball, and the boos behind the goal.
They are salty, aren't they? Like,
mate, they are. What was it? Stevenage, ugly, and
God.
I was just like, that's our keeper. But again, Phil, another clean sheet. I mean, what a keeper, man. I mean, do you know what? He made a really good save last night. There was a shot there. I don't even remember it. Guy hit it into the floor. And a lot of keepers would have spilled that. That was actually a really difficult catch to make. And they had a runner coming in as well. And Sween's tracked him, to be fair. But he held it. And I thought, oh, that's actually a better save than people think. Again, Phil, brilliant. Really, really solid, I thought. I love him. Do you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think he could be one of the best keepers we've had, Philip Marshall.
Definitely.
People might think, no, I don't agree with that, but I don't know. I think
the reason is people probably look at him and then instantly compare him to Murphy Cooper.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And then because Murphy Cooper, he not only gives you shot stopping, he's so calm on the ball, distribution. He gives you that personality as a goalkeeper. You see him and you go, right, he's a brilliant goalkeeper. Because you look at him and he shows it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Philip Marshall, he's got this composure about him and calmness, similar to maybe what Tay Ashby-Hammond has as well.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think he's just so consistent, Marshall, in the way he just operates. I think he'd be brilliant for us, especially as a young keeper. And he's only going to improve, isn't it, as well?
He is. Do you know what I like about him? He's really tall. I've always been a big fan of lean, tall goalkeepers. I don't know why. It's just I feel like he's great coming out. He's confident. His kicking's good. He can play. I feel like in League One, your goalkeepers actually have to be good footballers because, the way that the game's played in League One, it's almost like you've got a goalkeeper that's actually a good footballer. They need to play off both feet. How many times do you see the goalkeeper actually sweeping up and coming out?
Did you see Luton's game the other night?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, Owen Goodman. That's a prime example.
Yeah, perfect example. Right, anyone that doesn't know what we're on about, go and watch that. Honestly, it'll be on the highlights. You've got to be a good footballer, and Phil's a good footballer. He can play off both feet. I watch him in the warm-ups and what he does with the ball. But again, Aston Villa Academy, those real top big club academies, you ain't just producing low-level EFL goalkeepers. You're producing League One Championship. Philip Marshall could play in the Championship. He's got that ability. I thought he was brilliant last night. The two wing backs for you, Luca, Luther and Dan Butler. What was your kind of assessment and observation on their performance last night?
I thought they were fantastic. I mean, you look at fullback and what you want them to do in that sort of game. I think you just want them to win their duels, don't you? Their individual battles when they're called upon. You want them to do that. Dan Butler, in particularly, I thought first half the way he was getting forward. Driving forward. Might not have worked all the time, but it's that confidence for him to get forward, threaten their back line as well. And you can just see he's got some confidence. It's against his former side, of course.
Yeah.
But you can see it's changed from Dan Butler. When he's going forward, he's got that creativity about him. He looks like he properly 100% knows what he's doing. And he's going in there with a purpose. So I think, and Luther as well. I mean, Luther is so consistent.
Yeah,
he's such an amazing defender.
He's so athletic, isn't he? He's so athletic. You're like, how many times do you ever see Luther get beaten down that right side? And
it's almost robotic the way he defends.
do you know? I actually think he's an alien. I don't even think he's human. I think. I don't know. I agree. I think what I love about Luther is he gives you so much athleticism defensively and offensively. Because going forward last night, he was brilliant. He got forward. His delivery was good. He supported the attack. That's been something that a lot of people have criticised Luther over the years. And you're watching him doing it in League One last night thinking, you're one of the best right-backs in this league. It was almost like that, wasn't it? And equally, Dan Butler, delivery, getting forward, I thought was wonderful. Goody, Sweens and Freestone. I mean, look, Goody is just, it's just a Rolls Royce, isn't he, back there? Dan Sweeney as well. By the way, I effing love Dan Sweeney. He is the Sween dog. I messaged him today. I sent him a little, I said, do you know, I'll even read it out, right? I love the bloke. I'm sorry. I love him to bits, honestly. I just went, this was 10:30 last night. I went, get in, mate. You were class. And he just responded with 3 fist bumps on the and I just thought, you're a top man, aren't you, mate? Like, you are so clinical. He was brilliant. And Lewis Freestone, they were terrific last night, weren't they?
They give you that balance, don't they? Those three. I
Yeah.
mean, you look at those, and you got the aerial dominance of Good, the way he just dominates in every department. And then I look at Sweeney, how calm he is on the ball. I think he brings that. And then you've got Freestone, who's probably a bit of a mix as well.
Hmm.
But then I think the way they were just so dominant. You look at that game and nothing was getting past them, was it?
No, no.
And yeah, the way they set up, the way they just dictated, they didn't give the attackers a sniff, really, did they? And
No, they won absolutely everything, didn't they? Like when I look at Goody Sweens and Lewis Freestone last night again, I loved seeing him in a three. And by the way, just picture Pigeon that. I mean, talk about dominance. I mean, I know Wigan Saturday. I mean, imagine having Sweens, Good, and Pidge. Jesus Lord, but.
We didn't even need Pidge last night.
Well, this is a funny thing, actually. My dad said to me, and I spoke to my dad on the phone, and he went, just drop Pidge. Just drop him Saturday and play Freestone Good. That's how good they were. Do you know what I mean?
I think what's amazing, though, I know it's a pun, but how good is Charlie Good?
Oh,
this season, he's shown why he's been in the Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah, and do you know what it is with him as well? I knew this was going to happen. I remember calling this in the summer. And there's a few of these players in this squad as well. I think Charlie Good is looking upon this season as his biggest season because he knows that he's had a lot of injuries over the last few years and he hasn't played a lot of football. We all know Charlie Good is really a championship level player. Really, I mean, he's played in the Premier League, and this isn't so long ago. It's a championship level player. Good. It's he's been up the top of League One his whole career, and obviously the Northampton rise. But really, he's a championship level player, and I think he really sees an avenue with us to get back to that level. So I think for Goody this season, he knows this is a big season for him. He wants to get back playing the level he was playing, and you're seeing that. And he's doing it in the right squad because we've built this top League One level squad, and he's able to perform at that level with other players similar.
And then if we do go up, which is, I mean, even thinking about it's incredible, isn't it?
Goody's long throws away.
Goody's long throws win the Premier League.
Well, they wouldn't be prepared for that, would they? Or Liverpool?
But if we did go up, I mean, this is thinking very ahead in the future, but if we were, and you envision Goody in that defence, don't you? You see him in that defence in the Championship.
You do.
Where he belongs.
Yeah.
He's competing at that level week in, week out.
Yeah.
I mean, he's even outshining Pidge in some departments because when you come to a game now, you don't go, oh, it's Pidge just standing out because you've got Charlie Good who's competing alongside him. And if Pidge doesn't play, if he's missing, you've now got that faith alongside him.
Yeah, I'm so with you. I really am. I think Goody, brilliant. I love Sweens last night. Dan Sweeney, I love him. A bit like Luno. This season, what I love about Sweens is, look, Sweens is a starting player, but he's got Charlie Good there, and it's so difficult to play in front of Goody. But what I love about Dan Sweeney, and I just love the bloke. Whenever he's called upon, he delivers every single blooming time. Like Luton at home, played
brilliant,
flawless, right? Called upon, brilliant.
Last night,
yeah. I remember the goal in Spain, and we were just sticking
Rotherham again.
Yeah. But it went from that, and then Spain, he scored that unbelievable looping header up front. But called upon this season. Last night, Pidge suspended, goes to a place, brilliant. And that's what I love about Sweens. He always performs when he needs to perform. That's what the top players do. Midfield, Dan Phillips, Harv and Dan Kemp. Big performance from Dan Phillips. We knew that was going to happen when we saw the lineup, didn't we?
Absolutely huge. I touched on it earlier. It was the typical Dan Phillips performance. He came in, broke up the play every single opportunity he got. An absolute nuisance, wasn't he, for Peterborough? Absolute nuisance. And especially that first half, I thought Harvey White was so good in possession. The way he was working the ball from the defence, getting it forward. And I thought the link-up, especially in the first half, was really good. Something we probably haven't seen because we got Kempy in the game, didn't we? And that was completely different to what it's been of recent weeks, where Kempy hasn't really been in many games because we haven't played to that type of game, as we've been saying earlier.
Mm.
But the way he was linking up with Reedy and Ahadme, that partnership up front really working.
Mm.
And maybe it's something to look into in the future. I think it's definitely something that can really work.
I think that's a great shout. I think, by the way, Dan Phillips mustard. I mean, what I love about Dan is he's an aggressive player. What I love, he'll go and win the ball back, and you need that. You need certain players that are going to go out there, kind of take it upon themselves and go and win the ball back in an aggressive fashion. He does that, Dan. And it was just such a. And I know House was injured, and Louis Thompson's only had kind of 70 minutes since he's come back. But yeah, depth but it was such an intelligent decision by the manager. A game like that. Who do you want in a game like that? You want Dan Phillips. You want Dan who's going to be running. He's big. He's bolsterous. He's going to win the ball back. He's a good footballer as well. Brilliant decision from Revs and a nice blend with Harv because you've got Dan that's going to do all the nitty gritty. You got Harv that can distribute the ball. I thought Harv's passing last night was brilliant. He hit a 80-yard ball on his right foot. I know he's a professional. And it literally hit Luther's foot like that. And I was like, whoa.
Dan Phillips, he's your typical 90 minutes on a Tuesday night in the Midlands type of player, isn't he? That is what he is, isn't he?
I love that. I love that analogy. A wet, windy, cold Saturday.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
90 minutes, does the job. Everything you asked him, he's fantastic.
And by the way, I absolutely love that video where he was holding the phone.
Oh.
And he was like, yes, boys, we are top of the league. So he was like singing, wasn't he?
I had actually a Bishop Stortford, I remember, the 8-1 in pre-season. I had a really, really good chat with him on the sideline. I remember he was doing his warm-up after playing the first half and he came over and we started talking about the season. And he was saying, he seemed so confident and it was pre-season and he was thinking, obviously it's going to be a tough season with me because I've got internationals going on and that's what it's played out like so far. But he seems so confident in the team. You think with the depth that's coming in, he wasn't guaranteed a starting spot. But the fact that he's there and he's just so confident as he is, it's fantastic.
Brilliant player, massive player. And I think he's such a useful asset to us in those tough games when you need results. You need to see out a game. You need someone to win the ball back. You've got that kind of strength in the middle. And especially when you're playing Harvey, it's nice to have that mix in there. I love Jordan Houghton, but I do think we miss at times that physical, aggressive player in there, like a Dan Phillips or
that
a Luca.
Tenacity, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Dan Kemp with you, got on the ball last night. You know what? I love Kempy in the 10 when there's a partnership there because it's almost like those three attacking players can rotate at any time. You can have Kemp running in behind you. I loved his performance last night, Dan Kemp. He got wide as well. We got wide and looked to deliver the ball. Much more of a Dan Kemp performance. Really, really felt for him on Saturday. Just the ball was in here. But last night on the ball, nearly scored in the first half. Much more of a Dan Kemp performance.
Well, it's so simple with him, I think. You just got to give him the ball, let him do his thing.
Just give it to his feet.
Yeah, just give it to his feet.
I love that. Ending on the two strikers. I can't wait to speak about this. Jamie Reid, first of all. Look, again, in the bracket of Sweens. I love him. I love it. I know you do. I know the whole fan base do. I effing love Jamie Reid. I would have Jamie Reid as one of the groomsmen at my wedding next year. Unfortunately, I don't think Reedy would turn up. If he does, Reedy, the invitation's there, pal. What a performance. Got his goal, worked hard, ran in behind. It was a typical Jamie Reid performance, wasn't it, last night in that 1-0 win?
Oh, I loved it. And especially you touched on the work rate last night. Oh, it was fantastic. And he's leading the line. Comes back in from injury, leading the line. And that's exactly what you want from him.
I was so happy to see him in a partnership because, mate, in the way that we've played, really is that spearhead striker who has to do all of that work. And it's tough. It's tough. I mean, I'm not surprised, to be honest, he hasn't scored since August. I'm not surprised. I mean, when you've been given that role in the middle of a two either side who are natural wingers, It's going to be tough to score goals. I like partnerships because you can kind of halve the workload, and it allows you to actually be a striker and be a goal scorer. And I think you saw that last night, Jamie Reid. When you look at Jamie Reid, right? When you look at Reid's best seasons, it's been in a partnership, right? Let's look at the promotion season in a partnership. When you look at his season where he was top goal scorer in League One, in a partnership, his best seasons are in partnerships. So
we've just got to find that partner for him.
Have we found it?
I mean, he's going to have a few more games.
Yeah, he's not dead in the water just yet.
Don't forget Tyrese.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that's one to look forward to, isn't it? But Gas, mate, we said it, didn't we? Maybe in a different role. Again, Gas isn't a spearhead strike. Gas isn't going to do running and score goals and win everything in a game. And it was so nice to see him in a partnership, held the ball up, did his job, won his headers, was a nuisance, running behind, let Reedy do a lot of the work as well. Big performance from Gas, wasn't it, last night?
I liked it because he made himself a lot more useful, I thought. And he put himself about, which exactly, if he's not going to score, as a striker, you want to put yourself about and work hard. You want to make that 90 useful for your side. And definitely, I think the first 10, 15 minutes, I thought were really impressive from him. He was winning his flick-ons. He was running around. He was working hard. And he was linking up as well to be showing all round his game really well. Although he might not have done it all 90. But it's those little moments that really matter, especially bouncing back from a really poor run of games. So it's definitely a start for him. And I think if he can improve from that, show some more moments like that, get himself a goal, something like that, it's going to do the world of confidence for him and definitely integrate him well back into the side.
Yeah, he showed me last night that there is a role for him here. Before last night, I was a little bit unsure of whether he was good enough for League One. He showed me last night he is. He just needs to be played in a certain role. And that role works in a partnership where he's able to do the things that he is good at. Because, there was a phase of play last night where he actually had two of the defenders on him and he held the ball, he chested it down, he went one way, turned the other, played it, ran in behind, picked the ball up again. And I thought, that's a really good phase of play. He's had the ability to bring that ball down, touch play, bang, move, receive it again, then play it through the ring. He was doing certain things that showed me he's good enough, but he needs to be played in that specific role rather than putting him in the middle of a free and going, right, Gas, you've got to do everything, pal. He's not going to do that. And I liked it. I liked them two together. I thought it worked really nicely. And look, but people have got to remember as well, it's the first time that they've played a partnership in competitive football. So they need more games together if they are. And also it's an option for maybe Bez with Reedy or Jovan when he gets more experience, or I don't know, whoever it could be.
That's what he's got to keep doing. He's got to keep trying new things because especially in a promotion, if it's going to be a promotion season this season, you've got to...
What, the Gas lifted it?
At Wembley playoff final, get the Gas in.
I could see in a heartbeat, by the way, the Bez with the trophy on one of his Instagram posts. Was it #glory to God or something like that with the trophy? I could see that in a heartbeat in front of the North.
Who would you have lifting the trophy? I know obviously you got Pidge as captain, but who would you want next lifting?
Oh, that's a killer. Do you know what, Luca? You've trumped all of Andy's questions with that question. And has been trying his hardest recently. You've just wiped him out of the floor. Who would I want? I mean, you could pick. Oh, my goodness. You could have anyone, couldn't you? You could have Sweens. You could have Reedy. You could have Good. Luther.
It would be Luther for me, I think.
It's Luther's vice, isn't he? He was captain last night.
And all he's been for with us.
Yeah. I think Luther would have to be up there for me to lift. Would love to see the Bez do it though, just for
all of them. I'd have moments with all of them.
They'd all have to hold it, wouldn't they? Revs included, and just Scott Cuthbertson on there, legend, lifting it together, wouldn't it? That would be
Keith Bell.
Mate. No doubt Keith's that professional. He'll be washing those kits at Bragg by the time they lift it. He wouldn't even be there, Keith. Cutting the oranges or something stupid like that. I don't know. Hopefully not.
Playoff finals, nothing.
Yeah. And when everyone's celebrating at Wembley, he's back at Bragg. Like, what? Even till next season, Keith. We're not even wearing them kits next season. Wash them. We're going to have new ones. Let's take a quick look at the league table, my man. Again, I know obviously there wasn't many games last night. Luton won. Who cares? We're clear of them. They're not very good. Hopefully no Luton fans listening. Let's take a look at it. Top of the league. Look at that. Get in there, boys. First place. Let's take a look at it all together. First place, 15 matches played, 9 wins, 3 draws, just 3 defeats, 19 goals scored, 11 goals conceded. Goal difference is +8 and 30 points. I mean, Luca, mate, it's unbelievable, isn't it? You've got Cardiff second, 29, then it's Bradford 28, Lincoln 28, Stockport 28, Bolton 27, and then Luton 26. Do you know the crazy thing for me, right, is you look at this league table, we've still got games in hand. I mean, everyone forgets it, right? You look at it, we've still got 2 on Lincoln, we've still got 1 on Bradford, Stockport, Bolton, and we've got 2 on Luton. I mean, are we in dreamland? What is going on?
I'm sorry. We're on 30 points after 15. We have got 31 games left.
Point per game, isn't it? What?
Unbelievable.
So really, right, let's do the math on that, right? So 31, isn't it? So what's that? 93. So that's 93 points. Let's do the math on this. I like the math. So 93 points have to play for. Now, let's just do half, for example. So divide by 2. 46 points, pretty much. So 46, we'd be on 76 points if we pick up half. That's, by my mathematics, that's pretty much a playoff spot.
Realistically, we can drop off from our current form and still do it.
100%.
That is crazy.
100. Because you've got to think, half, that's still quite a bit of chunk of points you ain't picked up. So, I mean, we've picked up, at the minute, if we compare it to now, we've picked up 30 from 45. So we're over half at the minute. I know it's only 15 games, of course. But, I mean, when you look at it like that, in my mind, playoffs are a really realistic goal for us. And don't get me wrong, I know, we've still got a lot of the season to go and there's going to be teams that get better. In your heart to heart, do you think we can definitely get in those playoffs?
Definitely. I think the unpredictability of this league is crazy. And you've got everyone beating anyone. And it's that type of thing. And we've, 15 games, 30 points. Unbelievable, isn't it? We are 15 games. If you look at the start of the season and you go, all right, 15 games, 30 points. We are 20 points from safety.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was saying to the chat, we were having this chat in the WhatsApp group earlier, and I was going, 20 points to safety and another 30 points, and we're like a top half team. like we've achieved our goal in 30 points time. Do you know what I mean? It's just unbelievable what we're doing. And again, 9 wins, winning 9 of 15. And the goals conceded. I think, look, I've said this many a times. I don't think we're going anywhere. I look at our squad. I look at the depth. I look at what we've built. And, another thing that we haven't mentioned, all of the players in our squad expect to be doing what they're doing because a lot of these players have done it for the whole of their careers, right? When you look at players like Good and Houghton, Chem Campbell, Bez even, Bez is, Bez isn't even one of the starters and he was a promotion chasing player, wasn't he?
Such a brilliant balance, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, a lot. Even Gas at Charlton. I know he wasn't actually playing a lot, but a lot of these players. And then when you look at the original players that a couple of years ago were doing this, not to this extent, of course, but up there, all of these players expect to be doing what they're doing because they've done it in their careers. Jordan Houghton won this league 2 years ago, as a championship.
I think what's been so important, what's probably been the main catalyst to our success on the pitch, being promoted, is the fact that throughout probably Evans' tenure and Revs' second spell, the fact that we've always brought in these established League One players that have always, and the profile of player that we always bring in is that player that every single game they're producing 7 out of 10s, 8 out of 10s, every single 90, and they're performing like that. And that's what is, so important to probably the foundations of what we do every single game.
It is though, because if you literally read out the players' names, right? Like I've got it in front of me, like Philip Marshall. I mean, really a championship level goalkeeper based on his pedigree. You got Luther, who's evolved into a top player. Charlie Good, Cole Bigiani, Dan Sweeney, Dan Butler. I mean, this is a guy that plays in playoff finals for the last couple of
It's
years.
a rarity, isn't it? Because you
It
compare it
is.
to other clubs, every single player and every single department in our squad is in a positive stage in their career.
They are.
They're
They
on
are.
the up. They've done something notable for us.
Yeah, they are. And then when you look at their careers, they've only ever done what we're doing. So it's that level of expectancy. I remember Dan Sweeney in Spain, and I've told this story many a times. We're in Torrevieja, we bumped into the players. It was Sweens, Reedy, Freestone, and Harve. Oddly, all played last night actually, which was quite funny. And I said to Dan Sweeney, this season, we've created that top half League One team. What we feeling, Sweens? And it was like, yeah, we want to win the league. And I was just a bit like,
So
yeah,
calmly saying
I know
that.
we're a few shots in at the minute, Sweens, but realistically. And he was like, no, seriously, like it's what we've created. We've done it quietly. No one expects us to do it, but we've kept all the originals that are good enough to do it, and we know that. And all the new players are players that have pretty much done it in their careers, like Jordan Houghton and other boys that have experienced top end league.
I think that's brilliant because it shows that the club's a family, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
everyone shares the same belief. The managing staff, the players, the fans, everyone shares the same beliefs.
And it's really funny. We joked around with him and we were going, "Course, Swings, we'd settle on playoffs, though, mate." Right? We were joking with him, and he was going, "No, not good enough." We were like, "All right, then, lads, right, get ready for Leeds United then next year. This time next year." Do you know what I mean? That was the expectancy from Sweens, and he's obviously echoed that from the squad's kind of beliefs, and it's wonderful to see. It's wonderful to see us there. I've been looking at it every time since we've been chatting. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Literally bubbling. Honestly, I don't think I could get happier. It's wonderful to see us there, and long may it continue. We will move on to Wigan. We haven't got long left on the pod, guys. Thank you for sticking with us. This is a cracking chat tonight. Obviously, it was going to be being top. Wigan Athletic Saturday. My God, isn't it weird going to a match and we're top of the league and it's a big game for Wigan because they're playing top of the league and we're top. I mean, what are we saying? 3-5-2 again, and do we keep it pretty similar? Just with Pidge coming back in? Well,
I think it's got to be. I think he's got to.
Yeah,
he's got to keep it. I think the way it's performed as well, and I think every side, let's be honest, is going to be out to get us. No matter who they are, they're going to look at us top of the league and think we want to get them out. We want to stop them from being there. And now Wigan especially, it's going to be tough, and it's a ground that we've found tough to go to, and it's always a tight game. To be honest, it was a 0-0 the year before. We had that brilliant 3-2 away win, remember? But it's always been tight. It's always a hard place to go to. But every single game is going to be like that. That's how the opposition are going to set up.
What I like about this game, and actually what I like about in general, and I was saying this last night, and this is why I think it's so important that we evolve and adapt and change and play different systems and different formations like we did in that big night last night, is unpredictability, right? If you're Wigan Athletic, how do you set up Saturday? Because you look at it and you go, well, Stevenage played 3-5-2 on one Tuesday, but notoriously every match they play 4-2-3-1 and they've played with this. So what I like now is you're going this Saturday, and it's not like, Doncaster, for example, had looked at our portfolio of results and went, well, that's how they're going to play. There's the blueprint. Look at the games that they've lost recently. Let's set up to be disruptive as they were. But Wigan now, how do you set up if you're Wigan? You're looking at it going, well, Piagiani's back. So does that mean they're going back to a 4, or are they going to... It's that unpredictability. I like that.
Because he could easily put Phoenix Patterson in straight from the off. And then for Wigan, you've got a completely different thing to worry about.
Yeah.
And a completely different game that we're going to play.
I agree. I think this is, I'm going to be honest, I really fancy us to win again. But you know what? If you offered me a point now, considering what we did, I'd take it off the back of that just to get a result. But I really think we can win this game. I think I'd love him to play the 3-5-2 again. I think with Pidge going back in, you could even keep Sweens, Good and Pidge together. I mean, what a three on a big pitch at Wigan. You could keep Phillips in there, couldn't you? You could keep Gas and Reedy. Actually, I think Gas and Reedy would be really big to play in this game against Wigan because they're a tidy little side. I think it's fair to say.
Let's be honest, I think it's probably going to be a game of moment.
Yeah.
A game of bits of quality that are going to decide the game. And because you look at Wigan's record, like they've been in League One, they've been a side that's defensively solid. They don't score many goals. And then normally at the end of the season, got the record where it's like, one on their goal difference or something, or minus one on their goal difference. It's really tight.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And obviously their form of late hasn't been amazing, but it's always going to be a tough place to go to. And as I said, top of the league, everyone's going to be out to get you.
I'm just looking at their squad. Do you know what's ridiculous? But they beat Wimbledon last week. Wimbledon are on a bit of a ropey bit of form. They won their 2-1. They actually played 3-5-2. So does Rev match it again? Right, I'm looking at their squad. Paul Bulling come off the bench and scored. I'm looking at their team. Tickle, Aimson, Kerr, Fox, Murray, Weir, Wright, Francois, Borges, Rodriguez, Sadie, and Costello.
Well, they had that young lad score from a double week. Saw that free kick. That was a brilliant free kick.
That's it. I went on their pod the other day with Barry, who's a lovely chap, and he was telling me about this young boy that scored from in the trophy or something, or the cup, and then scored from in the league twice to win it. But really, again, when you go on paper and you go player for player, you look at us as the superior side here. And look, we're top. Obviously, we're going to say that about a lot of the teams that we play. But with Wigan being, I mean, where are they? I think they're 15th.
15th, yeah.
15th. They've got 5 losses. I mean,
I think it's as I said, it's a tight game because I think they probably play in a similar fashion to the way we do. They operate on a strong defensive base, don't they? And they concede a lot more of the ball compared to a lot of sides in the league. But they create a lot of high XG as well, which we probably do compared to the amount of possession that we have as well. So I think it's going to be tough. We know that. We know the type of opponent they are. But with the confidence we have, you think the amount of confidence Reedy's going to have at the moment, you do not want to be playing against a confident, informed Jamie Reid because he's shown what he can do. And I think we just need to play the same way. We've shown the strength that we showed on Tuesday night, and I think we just need to do it again.
I completely agree. It's going to be unbelievable to go back up there, top of the league, and play on it, in a big stadium. I'm travelling up Friday, staying over. Come on, the boys. Can't wait to see them top of the league. It's going to be a great day. And again, it'll be very interesting to see if Revs goes the same 3-5-2 or Rev changes it based on how Wigan play. Tough game. But again, do you know what? I want to see this game, actually. Tuesday night was a real dogged away performance. And I want to see us go out this Saturday, play some really good football, really dominate it, get a goal again, see if we can get a couple of goals, really dominating the game with the formation. And I think a result's really, really important. What you don't want to do is lose this game. You've just had that, blinding one on Tuesday. If you get a point, you get a point. Get a result from the game. And then we can kind of move into December with some big matches. Prediction for this, Luca. I will talk about the little prediction competition we've got going. I've gone for this one. I've gone a 2-0 win us and went for a 1-1. So those are the two. What are you going for, mate?
I think we've talked about how solid the two sides are. I think it's going to be a 1-0. I'm being honest, another 1-0. And I've got to go us, haven't I? I've got to go us.
Yeah, mate, I love that.
The form we're in. I mean, if it's a similar game to what it was in Peterborough, we'd love that because we know we can get through it. But obviously, as you said, we want to see some more football as well, maybe in the second half as well. We'll take it to them in the second half a bit more. But I'd be over the moon for another game like that.
1-0, Luca's gone again. I've gone 2-0, Anne's gone 1-1. Yeah, but similar to you, mate. I think now that we've got a win in the bag, Reedy's got off the mark. We've had a real successful game with 3-5-2. really want to see us play that now and really settle into that formation. So we've got two kind of ways that we can deploy the team. I think that's important in terms of results and staying up the top, especially with the squad we've got. I really fancy us. It'll be a tough place. Look, Wigan away is tough. They've got some good home form, Wigan. But I really fancy us. And I just think the level of the players we've got more than capable to come here and nick a win. And I've gone 2-0. I think Reedy will score again. Why have I got this feeling the Gas is going to nick one as well? I just don't know.
Top goal scorer.
Nods one in at the back post in front of the away. I don't know, man. I feel it. A cross in from Phoenix late on and a nod in, mate. That would be ace, wouldn't it? I'm backing Reedy in the Gas to score. The prediction competition in a minute. Obviously, we all started with 2 points. Now, from the match at Peterborough, Andy went 2-1 us. So And gets no points. I'm absolutely buzzing about this because I went 1-0. So I've scored a whopping 3 points. So Anne's still on 2. I'm now on 5. And Luca went 2-1 as well. So Luca, you and Anne are on 2 points. And I've rocketed first place at the minute. Like us in the table. 5 points on the board. So we will do the prediction competition after Wigan next week and see what we're in for. We're coming to the end of the pod, guys. I know that we've been going about an hour and 20, so we'll be really, really quick. We'll do 5 more minutes. We did get a couple of questions sent in from some of the listeners, which we're going to really, really quickly go through now, which would be good to do because it's always good to get a few questions and go through a few things. First question that we got from our post earlier was Richard. Richard said, who do you guys think was Borough's best performer in last night's great 1-0 win? And was it the right decision to not bring on Phoenix up the Boro? Good question, Rich. I like that. It's a good one.
Firstly, I don't think I can pick one man. I'm actually probably pick about 6. I mean, I've got listed down. I've got Antwini, Luca, Phillips, Reedy, Butler, and Freestone. That's my 6.
Yeah.
I can't pick between any of them because I think they all their individual brilliant performances just all came to one brilliant performance. I think, and then in terms of Phoenix pattern, I think it was either start him or don't bring him on.
Yeah.
It's that type of game. If you start him and he has one of those blinding displays where he's whipping in crosses all night, he's dangerous, he's on the ball all the time, or it was like that type of game where it's dogged, we're in a tight game, you don't bring him on because you want to bring Chem Campbell in over him and Labala, who are going to be physical and pacey. So, that's what I think.
Yeah, I completely agree with Luca. Oh my God, I couldn't pick a man. I can't pick a man of the match. I'm with you. I thought Goody, Sweens, Freestone, Luther, Butler, filling goal, Phillips. They were just brilliant, and Reedy up top, working hard, getting his goal. You could pick anyone for man of the match. And Phoenix as well, I actually don't think it was his type of game. And I'll make the point is last night, again, I'm with Luca, he either starts or he doesn't come on. Now, he doesn't come on because with 3-5-2, he would probably be, you could potentially put him in the 10. Other than that, you are putting Phoenix as a wing back probably. Now, Phoenix defensively isn't your most secure player. And I think in a game like that, if you're putting him a wing back, I don't think that would have suited last night. So I think in a game like that, with Chem coming on, with Louis Thompson coming, those were the right players to bring on to get over the line. I don't think it was Phoenix's game last night. I think there's going to be many more games, heck, maybe even Saturday at Wigan on a big pitch. But I think in terms of last night, the way that we set up in the 3-5-2 and the second half, I don't think he was the right player to bring on. But great question from Richard because everyone does want Phoenix to play. Second question we've got is from Ben. Ben asked, can you see us getting a 3-5-2 more often?
I think we've touched on it. I think it's definitely a change, isn't it? Because we've seen it in the last half an hour of games, but having it from the start is a completely different thing. And it's worked in that case, definitely last night. And I think we use it more consistently, maybe. If it doesn't work, then we could change it again. But I think we'd stick with it, definitely. And as you said, the we could have different personnel. We could replace Hadmay, maybe. We could have someone different up front to partner Reedy. But I think it's just keeping it to what we're doing well. I think that's what we need to be doing. Keeping to our style. We can change formation, but at the end of the day, we need to keep to our style. How solid we are. That's what we do.
Yeah, I agree with Luca. I think, 3-5-2, I'd love to see deployed more. I think it will be. We've called for it for a lot this season. I think that, it makes us unpredictable. It gives us another style of play, which I think is important in terms of longevity of staying in the top half of League One and this league. You're not just playing in any old league. This is League One. You've got good players. You've got good managers. You have to evolve and adapt. It's nice to have another formation that we can use. I think 3-5-2 is a very away sort of formation as well. So in those away matches, 3-5-2 is so good to play away from home. And also, it makes you hard to break down. And with an already excellent defence playing 3-5-2, you make it even harder for teams to break you down. It's the mathing for me at the minute. So I certainly think it's something that Revs is going to do a lot more, especially away from home. Last question is from John. John has asked, how good is Charlie Good?
I think I've said that.
Yeah, you have.
Spreading. He's fantastic. And what I admire about him is his consistency, his effort, everything he gives, giving everything for the shirt. And he's just leveled the season, I think, and showed how brilliant of a player he is. And as you said, he wants to make it his season. He wants to make it his best season to prove himself again, because he got really unlucky with the injury away at Exeter last season. And, a full campaign with him at his brilliant best is exactly what we need. And I think, fantastic last night.
Yeah, me too. He's mustard, and Chaz, and he's been one of my players of the season. I'd maybe have him as my player of the season at the minute. Actually, it was very close with him and Harv and a couple of others. But I just think his consistency of performances, he's become a linchpin back there. And actually, you made a great point, Luca. Carl Pigiani's so dominant, right? And he stands out every season, Pidge, and he has done this season. But Charlie Good is matching that and even going better. And when you're doing that with Pidge and you're standing out even more as well, I mean, it just shows you how great of a season you're having. And by the way, Cole Pigiani's having a solid season. So, I think Charlie Good is massive to our position at the minute. He's only ever played here in his career up the top of this division in the Championship. And I think he's a wonderful defender, Chaz, one of the most important players in our squad. So, absolutely brilliant for me. And player of the season at the minute. Guys, thank you so much for sending your questions in. We have come to the end of the pod. Luca, mate, it's been a good one tonight, and it's top of the league.
Come on.
Stop it. Dear me. So, but I've got to say, mate, your second visit on the pod and top, let me tell you, not a lot of people had that pleasure, mate.
Come on. We're going to stay top to the end of the season. I've just come on every time and we'll be top every time. That's what I'm going to do.
I feel like Luca's run is going to be like whenever we're top and then we get promoted. And then like he's like on for the promotion.
We're not top. I won't come on. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah. As soon as we drop out, Luca's not on. As soon as we get top. Hopefully we stay top and it's just every week. You know what I mean? Luca, my man, it's been brilliant to have you back on. Cracking pod. Bra fans, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back after, hopefully, another big result away at Wigan on Saturday to keep us top of this amazing league and this amazing season. We'll be back reacting to the pod on Sunday. That should be with you on Monday. Stay tuned for all of our Stevenage Football Club podcast content. Also, go and follow Luca at Stevenage. Is it Stevenage _ Luca?
Yes. Yeah, go follow me. Cheers.
And Twitter, go and follow Luca as well. Some of those TikToks are amazing. Luca will probably be doing a preview on Wigan this week as well. So go and give that a watch. Guys, there's only one way that we end this pod tonight, and I'm very, very proud to be doing this. I think we need to sing everyone out as we've done a few times, but because this is probably the proudest we've been, I'm going to sing everyone out to end the pod. We are top of the league, so we are top of the league. We are top of the league, so we are top of the league.